Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome for the first time, depending on which video you clicked on first. But this is part two of a two-part tutorial on designing and enhancing dubstep style wobbles. This is part two, which is enhancing, using Ableton Live's built-in audio effects. Where we left off, we had this sound. Whoops. And this is the sound we will achieve by the end of this video. Alright, let's get started. Looking at this new track here, first thing you're going to want to do is click on the instance of Massive and hit Control G. That's for Windows. I have no idea what it is for Mac. I apologize for any Mac users out there. But and then what you're going to want to do is highlight this instance of Massive and click Control D to duplicate it. And now you have two of the exact same sound playing the exact same thing. And you could hear it got a lot louder. So what we're going to do to fix that is first we're going to drag an EQ8 onto this version and this version of Massive only. And what we're going to want to do is cut off just a little bit of the low end like this. That's it. Just cut off the low end. Not too much, as it is a wobble and it's supposed to have a lot of bass in it. Then you're going to want to drag another EQ8 onto the other instance of Massive. Put a low pass on EQ8-1, drag it over so it's not cutting off too much, just enough. You're going to put a low pass. Oh, sorry, did I switch that up for one? I apologize. I'm just going to stop naming them now. Put the right one onto number 4 here. Real technical. And I'm going to cut off like half of the high end. And then I usually like to put this in here to bump up the low end a little bit. But what you end up getting is this top end with not a lot of sub in it, and then a sub end. So when you combine them together, the sound is a lot fuller, a lot bassier, and it has a lot more dynamic. Okay, so that's that part. And another thing I did is, if you notice that this wobble sounds a lot smoother, that's because I put a vocoder on it. This is extremely optional, as you may want that really gritty sound, but if you want something a little smoother, a little nicer, I like to put the vocoder on that. You can copy these settings here if you want. Something that's very, very important is to put this on modulator. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, you don't want that. So modulator, depth at 125%, attack 6.11 milliseconds, formant at 13.8, and I think those were the only knobs I adjusted. But yeah, that's just something to make it sound a little smoother. Again, completely optional. And I also only put it on the top end version of Massive. I didn't like it on the sub as much. So you still get some of that grainy feel, but without all of it there. Again, completely optional. Also, side chaining compression. This isn't some big pro secret, but it is one of the most effective forms of... I lost my train of thought. It helps a lot. Like, we turn this off. the kicks don't sound very, you know, prominent as they should in a lot of dubstep music. So sidechain and compression. How this works, you got your compressor here, and click this little arrow up here. Activate sidechaining, and do audio from. It'll say no input, and you want to change it to your kick track. For me, that's one audio. And adjust it as necessary. Since this was the only synth in the entire track, I didn't put the threshold too low, so it didn't, like, you can completely knock the bass out of the way if you put the threshold low enough. But I didn't do it that way because it's the only actual noise in the track besides the drums. That was a bad word to use. You get my point. So yeah, I put the threshold, if I remember, like 12.3, enough to bring the kicks out without completely getting rid of the bass. Change the model to FF1. That's a trick I learned from a guy named DJ Vespers. Go check his videos out. He is a friggin' genius. But FF1 is the model that he suggested he found was best for sidechaining compression. Adjust the attack and release over here. So if you are knocking the bass completely out of the way, you see, if it knocks it completely out of the way and you have the attack all the way up, it takes a while to get back up. So if you want it shorter, want to get knocked out of the way but come back really quickly, adjust the attack and release here. And this ratio, I find a higher ratio is better. I'm not going to pretend like I'm the master of compressors, but that's just what I liked better. Yes, and moving on. This is a very fun effect. Take your redux, I don't know. I speak French, so that just, that's how I thought I'd pronounce it, but that's probably wrong. Anyway, take your redux, however you pronounce it, and in the downsample section here, turn it from hard to soft, put it all the way up, and you get this sound. That dubstep yai that pretty much everyone uses. I mean, there's a lot better ways of doing it, but this is just a little trick that I learned. And yeah, that's about all the effects that I tend to put on my Dubstep Wobbles. Limiter, of course, so you don't get that clipping. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Follow me on SoundCloud, subscribe, like, all that great stuff. And if you haven't noticed, these tutorials are just a way for me to shamelessly promote my own music, so go check those out. I have 2 tracks out right now, coming out with a couple new ones soon. And suggest more tutorials, anything. Yeah, have a nice day.